Okay, it's 6 o'clock. Let's stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we'll bow our heads for say a prayer. Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for you allowing us to be a part of this great community. God, we ask you that you'll direct us in every decision we have to make. We ask you to let your will be done and direct us in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. All the magistrates is here. Uh, Need approval for the April 21st meeting and then the special meeting of the first reading of the budget. Motion by Brad, second by Carl. All in favor? All right, motion carries. Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to new business. Roads, the monthly report. Zach?
The crew's been busy with cleaning out culverts, ditch work, filling potholes, bushwhacking, and grading. On the bushwhacking, we have completed 193 end of New Cut Road, and we're currently working on Marion Lane. On the grading, we just finished up Little Dixie Road, and we plan on moving it to Lacombe's Bottom next. And the crew has also been cleaning out culverts on and ditches on Farm Road, Deerfield, and Watkins Lane.
All right, any questions for Zach? All right, thank you, Zach. We move on to committee report. Brad?
Yes, we met, discussed the mowing equipment, when they're going to start bush hogging. Would be nice if we could have two part-time or summer help to follow the bush hogs. Something we can think about. That way that frees two up. It frees a couple, two or three up to do other things such as culverts and base failures and stuff. And we got plenty of that to do before we start paving. So, and we may, I think we talked about this last year. I know we can't do it right now, but I think we still need to look into getting a wood chipper with all these storms and trees laying everywhere.
Yeah, I know it. Seems like every time you look up, we got trees blowing down. It's just the budget's tight. I mean, we try to do what we can. I'm not real sure we got it in the budget that we can. The truck, I think, is going to be in the next. He told me last week. He said 2 to 3 weeks, so we should get the truck paid for out of this budget, which will be a good thing. But we don't have a lot in there for purchase of equipment in the next budget, so we'll have to just figure out if we can. I know when you start putting the part-time help on, you're gonna run that line item way up, but we may be able to work it out. I don't know how close we got that figured as far as per hour, so we'll look at it. Any questions for Brad or comments about the road? All right. Next thing is the rural secondary program. I'm sorry, I checked it off too quick. Opening the bids, and so I'll ask Travis to just go ahead and open them up, and we'll move on to this resolution, so we don't hold up everybody so long. But we'll let him open them, and then we'll come right back to it. So the next is the rural secondary program. We have to have the road aid resolution. So I've asked Cassidy if she would read that. Get her a mic, Dan.
There's a county road aid cooperative program agreement, and this is an agreement that's entered into with the Transportation Cabinet in Henry County. This refers to KRS 177, 138, and 179. And this is a county has accepted an invitation to the department to allow it to participate in a cooperative program to aid the county construction, reconstruction, and maintenance of certain roads and bridges using the shared county road funds apportioned by the department. This will be an apportionment to a portion of county road aid funds beginning July 1 of 2026, and the amount is $991,307.75. That will be assigned and distributed in 3 distributions. First shall be a 60% apportionment in the amount of $576,941. The second distribution will be 30%, and the final distribution will be distributed after the end of fiscal year of June 30. This is an agreement that Henry County will sign, and we have a resolution. The Henry Fiscal Court resolution adopting and approving the execution of County Road Aid Cooperative Program contract between the Fiscal Court and the Commonwealth of Kentucky, Transportation Cabinet, Department of Rural and Municipal Aid for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2026, as provided in the Kentucky Revised Statute, and accepting all roads and streets referred to therein and being a part of the county road system. Be it resolved by the Fiscal Court that the Fiscal Court hereby does accept all roads and streets referred to in said contract as being part of the county road system, and the Fiscal Court does hereby ratify and adopt all statements, representations, warranties, covenants, and agreements contained in contract, and does hereby accept that said contract by such acceptance agrees to all terms and conditions therein stated. And the county judge executive of the county is hereby authorized and directed to sign said contract set forth on behalf of the Henry Fiscal Court, Henry County, Kentucky, and the county clerk of Henry County is hereby authorized and directed to certify.
Okay, so we need a motion to accept that, so I can sign that. All right, motion by Danny. Second by Brad, all in favor? All right, motion carries, thank you. And before I move on, the rural secondary program and the flex fund, that hadn't come in yet, so that's the reason I passed it up on the agenda. And next we have is a transportation co-op agreement public hearing for the use of funds. So if anybody in the public wants to talk about anything about where we use our funds, the floor is open now. All right, I don't see anybody, so we'll move on to planning and zoning, solid waste. Jason?
All right, for the month of April, we had 39 electrical permits, 25 building permits, and 1 sign permit. Next Board of Adjustments meeting is Tuesday, May 26th, because that Monday is a holiday, so it's going to be Tuesday the 26th here at 6 o'clock, and nothing on the agenda for planning and zoning next month.
All right, any questions for Jason? All right, thank you, Jason. Next we'll move to Parks and Fairgrounds. Toby, I know y'all been busy.
We've been busy with weed eating, grass cutting, prepping for sports fields. We had one of our mowers go down. We took it in for service last week. I don't have an update on its status. Splash pad, we got all the features installed, tanks filled, chemicals, and discovered we had 2 cracks in a control valve. So I had Tommy Wartsmith out and looked at it, so he's going to get me the parts to repair it. He also made me a fabricated valve so I can run it. And I spoke with the health department. They said it's okay, so I got it scheduled for a Friday inspection for it.
All right. Any questions for Toby? Thank you, Toby. I know you guys have been hitting it pretty hard out there, and that I appreciate that. That splash pad, it will be very important if we can get everything going pretty soon on it. We'll move on to animal services. You got that, Denise? Danielle, I think she had something going on where she couldn't be here, so she called for this to come in, for us to handle this.
All right, the shelter report, there's currently 26 dogs. Intake is 31. Total out is 32. Adoption 6. Rescues 19. Return to owners 6. Other 1. Upcoming events, there's going to be a second. Oh, that one's already passed. May 30th, they're at Tractor Supply in LaGrange. June 4th at the Henry County Public Library. They're going to be at Smithfield Day on June 6th and a Pet Expo in Versailles, Kentucky on June 20th. As far as financial report, they had adoptions at 1,500, total donations at 1,726. Other was $545.24 for a grand total of $3,771.24.
All right.
Well,
One thing,
on
Cassidy, this is maybe a question for you, but we got one person in Stonehurst that's still having trouble with dogs roaming. He's sending me videos and pictures daily. If they can't catch the dog, they know where the dog belongs, but they can't catch him outside. Can they go do something for the owner to?
So Danielle can file a criminal complaint because it would be a county ordinance violation. So she can certainly do that and hold the owner responsible.
But we need to get something done there. Okay, thank you.
I'd like to add the car show was canceled because of the weather. We moved it to Labor Day. So everything's bought and purchased, is waiting on the day.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, we move on to the sheriff's report, Keith.
All right, we had 225 calls from KSB Dispatch, 145 calls for service into the Sheriff's Office, had 58 citations or criminal summons, 32 criminal arrests, 18 warrant arrests, served 147 court papers, transported 1 fugitive, transported 1 MIW, had 85 vehicle inspections, 17 carry concealed license, and 4 drug charge arrests.
Pretty busy month.
Busy month.
Any questions for Keith? All right, thank you, Keith. Okay, we'll move on to Ed with the ABC quarterly report.
Third quarter fees and reports have all been filed. Now I have 17 active businesses. Revenue's way down this quarter, but third quarter is always our slowest quarter. Total revenue received from alcohol sales to date is $1,074,151.26. Any questions? Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ed. Travis, you got those ready? Okay, we'll go back to the opening of the bids. He's got them all straightened out here, so we'll go back to him for that.
Okay, I'll start with rock. We had one bid from Ladders. Number 2 limestone is $17.75 a ton. Number 3 limestone, $17.75 a ton. Number 4 limestone, $19.50 a ton. Number 8 limestone, $19.50 a ton. Number 57 limestone, $19.50 a ton. Dense grade aggregate, $17.75 a ton. Limestone dust, $17.25 a ton. Channel liner, Class 2, $25.75 a ton. Class 3 channel liner, $29 a ton. Crushed stone base at $17.75 a ton. The next bid that I've got is for striping from Reynolds Sealing and Striping, Inc. They have a bid for Radcliffe Road of 28,900 linear feet and Giltner Road of 32,336 linear feet of a 4-inch permanent paint at 26 cents per linear foot, with a grand total of being $15,921.36. We had 2 people mail in for.
We may need to, go ahead, should we go ahead and accept the rock bid first? And
Accept each one, that's fine.
I think we're gonna have to.
Okay.
So we go back to the rock bid, which, the only bid we got is from Lighters. So we need to, Carl makes a motion to accept. Second by Brad, all in favor? All right, so we'll accept the bid from Lighters, and then on the striping,
That's the company. It's Reynolds Sealing and Striping. We had 1 bid. The total amount for the 2 roads, Radcliffe and Giltner, was $15,921.36.
this is gonna come out of some of your blacktop money. It's the only place we got to take it from, so, but I mean, I don't see any way we gonna not stripe these 2 roads myself, because it's dangerous, so I say okay, motion by Brad, second by Carl, all in favor? All right, we accept that from Reynolds.
Okay, the next thing is for the salt for our road department. We had 2 mail-ins. One was from Compass Minerals. They regrettably did not submit a bid at this time. The second bid was from Morton Salt. Their bid came in at $109.66 per ton with a 25-ton minimum dump truck delivery, which is good because we were paying $121 last year.
Yeah, that's cheaper than we got last year.
So we need a motion.
Is that the only for the salt?
That's the, yeah.
Okay, so that's from Morton's, $109.66 a ton. Motion by Danny. Second by Brad. All in favor? All right, motion carries. Thank you.
Okay, the next is blacktop. So we had 3 bids. One from Shelbyville Asphalt Company, picked up at the plant, surface at $83 a ton, binder at $81 a ton, and base at $79 a ton. We had Mago picked up at the plant, is also surface at $83 a ton, binder at $81 a ton, and base at $79 a ton. And then when we had Hinkle Contracting Corporation with surface at $81.50 per ton, binder at $78 a ton, and base at $75 a ton. Do you want me to read the laid first, or we accepting the pickup
We
first?
probably need to accept that first.
Okay. Yep.
To accept Hinkle. All right, second by Kevin. All in favor?
Okay, and then the laid blacktop, Mago was surface was $98.50 a ton. Laid blacktop from Hinkle was surface at $95.50 a ton, binder at $93.50 a ton, and base at $92.50 a ton.
All right,
Would you like to make a motion?
Okay, you make a motion to accept Hinkle. All right, second by Kevin. All in favor? All right, motion carries. Thank you. Thank you guys for coming too. Next we got is a Keita report. I asked Jessica to come. Sandy, thank you for coming tonight. Turn your mic on.
groups in the last week, and all my notes are starting to run together at this point. I was here a year ago. It's wild that it was a year, but I was here to introduce myself and talk more about KETA. And when I was here, there were members of this court who asked pretty fair questions. You asked what KETA was going to do to become more of a resource for Henry County, and I took that pretty seriously. Over the last year, KETA has helped facilitate relationships, projects, grant opportunities, and direct conversations that just weren't happening before. Early on, we realized that the brokerage and development community, they knew of Louisville, and they knew of Northern Kentucky, but they knew very little about the opportunity that was here on the I-71 corridor. So instead of waiting for the opportunities to find us, we started taking the corridor to them, and we started bringing them to the corridor. We built relationships with brokers, site selectors, developers, utilities, state leaders, and private industry partners. More importantly, we started bringing those people here onto the sites and into the communities and to direct conversations with our local leadership. That approach is exactly what helped create the momentum around projects like the Camelsburg project that I'm sure you're hearing a lot about. Those conversations didn't happen by accident. They happened because KETA is initiating conversations, building trust with people capable of bringing those projects here, and making sure Henry County has a seat, an active seat at all of those tables. And that momentum is not theoretical anymore. In just the last week, we saw a major planning and zoning win tied to economic development in Henry County, and we hosted one of the most successful regional forums this corridor has ever seen, bringing together state leaders, national brokers, developers, utility, county leaders, and private industrial investors across Kentucky. The corridor is gaining attention, and Henry County is part of those conversations in a way we just simply haven't seen before. On the Camelsburg opportunity alone, the tax impact modeling that we showed would show that even at the lowest projected value, that kind of strategic development could represent $1.18 million annually across local taxing districts, to include approximately $717,000 annually just for our schools. And at the higher projected levels, that number grows to more than $2.3 million annually. None of that momentum sustains itself without investment. What we're learning, and what I'm learning every single day, is that regional economic development is relationship driven, it's visibility driven, and it's access driven. So tonight, our request of the Henry County Fiscal Court is to increase your annual investment in KETA from $8,000 to $15,000 annually. That request is not about growing our overhead. It allows us to continue to facilitate projects, pursue grants, strengthen site readiness, build relationships with decision makers, and advocate for Henry County on a regional and a state level. And I believe that return on investment is already starting to show. We're building real momentum in the county and across the corridor, and Henry County deserves to be fully positioned for what's coming next, because I promise you, this is just the beginning. We appreciate your support, and more than that, I appreciate that you guys have trusted me to stand for Henry County and to advocate for you and what you deserve. So I'm happy to answer any questions. I'm so glad that a lot of you showed up on Friday and were there for that conversation, and I think you're seeing me more and more, and really we're just getting started. But that is our request, and I hope that you will consider.
Okay, anybody got any questions or anything for Jessica? Any comments? I will say Jessica has gone above and beyond to help us try to land some of this economic development, and I appreciate it. The project in Camelsburg come directly through Jessica. They come to her first, and she asked if they could come to meet with us, with myself, and we did. And what the way that works is, the realtor said, I come meet with the judge executive. If he says absolutely not, I move on, don't come back. He said if he says that maybe this is something we would like, then I pursue it. So then he brought the company itself in, the Flint company in itself, and met with us. And then so now we're here today, and did get that approved Thursday night at the planning and zoning meeting. And I thought it was a good approval, and they had a good plan. And I'm excited. So I don't know if any of y'all got any comments on. Go ahead, Roger.
Yeah, Jessica, I think, is doing a marvelous job. When you put money in, you get something back, and I think we're getting something back from this Greater Louisville Inc. We might want to take a look at that, because ever since they came in and promised us what they did, I hadn't seen much out of them. So we could take some of that money and.
Just to tell you, Roger, I didn't pay them this time because I told them, I said, I don't see where you're delivering anything, so I didn't even ask you on that one. I just told them we wasn't interested.
Well, there's areas that people come in and promise and don't deliver. In this case, I think these guys have promised and delivered at the same time. And I think we're just at the start of this as well. I think they've got a good vision for Henry County and for the region as well. So I'd like to see us consider the money advancement and go forward with this group.
I will say, we don't just get Jessica with this. We get David and Sandy. I mean, they jump right in, which they're from Oldham County Chamber. And
We also have a marketing and communications director, Mindy Arney, who works with us in our office. She's from Carroll County as well. And then we have Kara. So over the last year, I think it's important for you guys also to know there's no kickback, there's no commission, there's no increase in my salary or any of those things when we're asking for more investment. Those projects don't bring money into my pocket or our organization's pocket. They bring investment back into our counties. So I think that's important to note too. But outside of that one, we've done the Brownfield grant alongside KIP that we did in Newcastle for the renovation of the Board of Education. We have mega networking for chambers. We've invited all of our local chambers together and we've hosted that first conversation. So Holly's a part of that and, we're starting to grow that. We've aligned our healthcare systems. We've brought Baptist up the region. We've started talking about workforce and working with Kentuckiana Works to make sure that our counties are a part of that program and that we know what our employers need within the county so that we're pushing that out in different ways. So you're right. It's not just me. It really is a team effort and you're I'm who you get to see, but really it takes all of us to make it happen. And it's not just one county. We talked about this on Friday, but really regionalism has to happen. The problems that we have are not one county wide, they're regional, and really they're statewide and kind of national too. But on a regional level, we have to work together. So I think that's what we've been doing and doing really well.
Yes, and the judges all are in agreement on this. Hopefully the election don't mess that up. But we'll see where we come with the election. But I really feel like, and just to put a feather in Jessica's hat, she's a Lockport girl. She moved away from here and had a good job in economic development with the state, but she wanted to get back home. So she's not one, and that's one thing we've run into. We would have them for a little bit, and if they did good, they'd find them another job somewhere else. So my opinion is we want to keep her. So we will get with you on the budget stuff.
Sounds good. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll move on to the Flat Creek Water Extension. I met with Cassidy and Keith last week, and they're working on a agreement between Henry County Water and North Shelby Water, and trying to get that all the legalities worked out on that. But that water extension is going to happen. We just got to have all the paperwork done. Just to give you a little update on that it is in the process. It won't happen before July because the funds won't be here before the next budget year. All right, we'll move on to the LGEA public hearing. This is the mineral severance tax that the quarries and any county that's got a quarry, they get this money, and the state takes it, and then they keep part of it, and the county gets the other part. It can be used for public safety, environmental protection, health, recreation, social services for the poor, industrial, economic development, vocational education, workforce training, and those kind of things. So it's very important, and so we had to have a public hearing for that too. So we'll open the floor now for a public hearing for the LGEA funds. All right, nobody have anything there? We'll move on to 250th celebration update. It's going very well. we're getting a lot of, commitments. If any of you magistrates want to commit, to putting some money into it, we welcome that too. We're getting a lot of commitments from corporations, and I think it's going to be a great event. We're just trying to work out some of the smaller details. Travis, you got anything, or Denise, y'all have anything? Yeah, we'll start posting some different things about what's going to be happening and all that. But it's going to be a good day, I feel. Okay, we'll move on to claims and transfers. Motion by Kevin. Second by Brad. All in favor? All right, motion carries. Okay, we'll move on to adjournment. And just so people know, we couldn't have public comment in a special call meeting, and we had to call this special call meeting because we had to move it from yesterday to today. So we was advised not to have public comment because we can't. I'm sorry, from tomorrow to today because of the election. So we was advised not to have public comment in a special meeting. Okay, we're ready for adjournment. Motion by Danny. Second by Carl. All in favor? All right. Thank you. Y'all have a good day and good luck, everybody, tomorrow on election day.